Gilligan's Island promised endless fun, slapstick humor, and unforgettable adventures on a deserted island. But behind the scenes, all the main cast members met tragic ends, some by accident, others under mysterious or suspicious circumstances. Keep watching, because the truth is far stranger than fiction. Bob Denver as Gilligan. We start with Bob Denver, who played Gilligan, the clumsy, lovable first mate whose well-meaning mistakes constantly left the castaways in hilarious predicaments. He was just 29 years old when he brought this iconic character to life, turning simple slapstick into television gold. Every viewer instantly recognized him as the heart and comic soul of the island, a character impossible to forget. Tragically, Bob Denver's life after the island was a mix of highs and devastating lows. He passed away at 70 from complications following throat cancer surgery, succumbing to pneumonia. In his final years, he lived quietly in West Virginia, running a small FM radio station with his wife, Dreama, while still making occasional appearances in Gilligan's costume, a bittersweet echo of the fame that both defined and trapped him. Life beyond the island was turbulent. Denver's career never escaped the shadow of Gilligan. Serious roles were scarce, and his personal life was equally dramatic, with 4 marriages and legal troubles, including arrests for marijuana in 1971 and a high-profile 1998 case that briefly entangled Dawn Wells. Even with these hardships, he remained generous and loyal to friends, ensuring co-stars received equal credit and recognition, a gesture that revealed the depth of his character behind the laughter. His health struggles were relentless. A heavy smoker, he battled cancer and required heart bypass surgery in 2005, mere months before his death. Despite pain and setbacks, Bob Denver's legacy remains enduring, a man who taught audiences to laugh at life's chaos while facing his own battles with courage, humor, and an undeniable charm that lives on through every rerun. Hale Jr. as the skipper, Jonas Grumby. Next, we turn to Hale Jr., who played the skipper, the sturdy, good-natured captain whose leadership kept the castaways afloat through every storm and mishap. He was 43 years old when he embodied this pivotal role, delivering both authority and warmth that grounded the island's chaos. Hale's presence became the anchor of the series' adventurous spirit, making him a central figure in the group. Hale Jr. passed away at 68 from thymus cancer, with his ashes scattered into the Pacific Ocean, a fitting tribute to a life defined by the sea and adventure. His wife, Naomi Ingram, remained by his side, and co-star Dawn Wells honored him at his memorial, ensuring that the skipper would forever remain part of television history. Life after the show was relentless and demanding. Hale endured serious injuries on set, including a broken arm, yet never complained, always finishing his scenes to protect the production and his co-stars. Beyond acting, he opened a lobster-themed restaurant in Los Angeles, often greeting patrons dressed as the skipper, a testament to the inseparable bond between the man and his iconic character. Though typecast, he continued a prolific career in film and television, appearing in works like The Gene Autry Show and Up Periscope, and reprising his skipper persona in reunion movies and animated adaptations. Hale Jr.'s story is one of tireless dedication, sacrifices, and unwavering commitment to both craft and character, leaving a legacy that is as enduring as the ocean he so often sailed on screen. Jim Backus as Thurston Howell III. We have Jim Backus, who played Thurston Howell III, the wealthy, snobbish castaway whose arrogance and charm brought the perfect comic foil to the island. He was 51 years old when he embodied this millionaire persona, commanding every scene with wit and sophistication. Backus made Thurston Howell III unforgettable, a character whose upper-crust humor and eccentricities were as sharp as they were hilarious. Jim Backus passed away at the age of 76 on July 3, 1989. Succumbing to pneumonia after years battling Parkinson's disease. His final years were marked by a struggle against the illness, which left him frail, yet still determined to participate in reunion specials and maintain his presence in the public eye. Despite the challenges, Backus remained devoted to his craft, leaving a legacy of iconic performances, including his celebrated voice work as Mr. Magoo. Life after Gilligan's Island was a mix of creativity and resilience. Backus co-wrote several humorous books with his wife Henny, including autobiographical works that showcased his sharp humor and charm beyond the screen. While he reprised Thurston Howell III in reunion films, his health increasingly limited his appearances, making each cameo a poignant reminder of both his talent and the toll Parkinson's took on him. His influence extended to television, film, and even advertising. He lent his voice to revivals of Mr. Magoo from 1964 to 1977, appeared in Rebel Without a Cause, and was a regular guest on variety shows like The Tonight Show. His wit and distinctive voice earned him a Hollywood Walk of Fame star, a testament to his lasting impact. Even amid personal and professional struggles, Backus demonstrated that humor, versatility, and persistence could define a career, leaving a legacy worth remembering. Natalie Schaefer as Eunice Lovey Howell. Then there is Natalie Schaefer, who played Eunice Lovey Howell, the elegant, witty socialite whose charm and poise provided a luxurious contrast to the chaos of the island. She was 63 years old when she brought Lovey to life, infusing the role with sophistication and subtle comedy. Schaefer's portrayal made Lovey Howell iconic, a character whose wealth, style, and humor left audiences both charmed and amused. Natalie Schaefer passed away at the age of 90 on April 10, 1991, after a private battle with liver cancer. Her ashes were scattered into the Pacific Ocean off San Pedro, and she left behind a fortune of over $10 million, much of it directed toward charitable causes, including cancer research and homes for retired performers. Schaefer's final years were spent quietly in Beverly Hills, yet she remained connected to the entertainment world through guest appearances and voice work for animated adaptations of Gilligan's Island. Off-screen, Schaefer's life was as remarkable as her on-screen persona. A real-life socialite and shrewd investor, she became wealthy through Beverly Hills real estate, all while maintaining the image of the graceful, youthful socialite. She secretly survived breast cancer and endured the challenges of aging without public knowledge, navigating the world with poise and discretion. Her marriage to Louis Calhern ended without children, leaving her with independence that shaped her personal and philanthropic priorities. Her later career included primetime guest roles on series like The Survivors in 1969 and Search for Tomorrow in the early 1970s, as well as the 1990 horror film I'm Dangerous Tonight. She reprised Lovey Howell in reunion films and voiced the character in animated spin-offs, cementing her legacy across generations. Schaefer's work, philanthropy, and guarded resilience created a narrative of wealth, mystery, and enduring influence, making her life as compelling and dramatic as her character on screen. Russell Johnson as The Professor. Roy Hinckley. We come to Russell Johnson, who played Professor Roy Hinckley, the brilliant, resourceful castaway whose inventive mind and calm reasoning often saved the group from disaster. He was 39 years old when he embodied this polymath, turning everyday objects into clever solutions and becoming the intellectual anchor of the island. Audiences quickly came to rely on his quiet wisdom, making the professor a character both admired and deeply memorable. Russell Johnson passed away at the age of 89 on January 16, 2014, from kidney failure at his home in Bainbridge Island, Washington. The loss of his son David to AIDS in 1994 left a profound mark on his later years, leading Johnson to dedicate much of his time and energy to fundraising for AIDS charities. Despite personal pain, he remained active in the entertainment community, attending fan conventions and sharing stories of his iconic character. Life after Gilligan's Island was shaped by both opportunity and typecasting. Johnson appeared in numerous dramatic and guest roles in series such as The Big Valley, The Invaders, Death Valley Days, Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law, Ironside, Mannix, and Gunsmoke, but the professor always overshadowed these roles. He also participated in TV movies like The Ghost of Flight 401 and The Bastard, and lent his voice to animation projects and short films, embracing the legacy of the character that defined him. Johnson's legacy extended beyond the island through honors and storytelling. He co-authored a memoir, Here on Gilligan's Isle, in 1993, sharing candid reflections on his career and wartime heroism as a bombardier in World War II, where he received the Purple Heart and several commendations. His life demonstrated resilience, intellect, and generosity, and his estimated net worth of $4 million reflected decades of dedication both on-screen and off, leaving a legacy of courage, innovation, and philanthropy. Dawn Wells as Mary Ann Summers. Turning to Dawn Wells, who played Mary Ann Summers, the sweet, resourceful farm girl in The Castaways. She was 25 years old when she portrayed Mary Ann, instantly embodying the wholesome girl-next-door archetype that contrasted perfectly with the island's chaos. Her performance made the character beloved across generations and cemented Wells as an icon of television innocence and warmth. Dawn Wells passed away at the age of 82 on December 30th, 2020, in Los Angeles due to complications from COVID-19. In her later years, she faced financial challenges because of medical bills, receiving support through a GoFundMe campaign from devoted fans. Despite these struggles, she remained proud of her work, recording videos and interviews, and celebrating the enduring popularity of Mary Ann even decades after the series ended. Her career extended far beyond the island. Wells appeared on television series including 77 Sunset Strip, The Roaring Twenties, Bonanza, The Love Boat, and Fantasy Island, and she reprised Mary Ann in animated spin-offs and reunion films such as Rescue from Gilligan's Island, 1978, and Gilligan's Planet, 1982-83. She also authored Mary Ann's Gilligan's Island cookbook in 1993 and What Would Mary Ann Do? In 2014, cementing her connection with fans while offering guidance inspired by her iconic character. Despite her fame, Wells faced her share of drama. In 2008, she was briefly arrested over a cannabis incident, which she explained was left by strangers in her car. Beyond legal troubles, she struggled with dementia in later years and financial hardships due to medical expenses, yet she remained resilient and engaged with fans. Her estimated net worth at the time of her death was $50,000 after medical costs, but her legacy, the sweetness, intelligence, and charm of Mary Ann Summers, endures far beyond any monetary measure. Tina Louise as Ginger Grant. We have Tina Louise, who played Ginger Grant, the glamorous movie star of the island Castaways. She was 30 years old when she embodied this Hollywood starlet, bringing the charm and elegance of a leading lady stranded among shipwreck survivors. Audiences instantly recognized Ginger as the diva of the group, the one whose allure and sophistication contrasted with the everyday island chaos. Tina Louise is 92 years old, living quietly but actively involved in education and philanthropy. Despite decades of fame, she remained private, particularly in her relationships with former castmates, and only after Dawn Wells' passing in 2020 did she express heartfelt sorrow and respect. Life after Gilligan's Island was a mix of triumph and frustration. Louise won the Golden Globe for New Star of the Year for God's Little Acre, appeared in films like The Wrecking Crew and The Stepford Wives, and took on darker roles such as a heroin-addicted character in Kojak, 1974, to escape typecasting. Despite her talent, she often felt Ginger overshadowed her film career, leading to decades of selective participation in reunions. Her later work demonstrated her dedication to both craft and society. Louise appeared on Dallas, Married, with Children, and in Johnny Suede, 1992, and published memoirs and children's books, including Sunday, a Memoir, 1997, and When I Grow Up, 2007, donating proceeds to literacy programs. She remains the last surviving main cast member, with a legacy defined by talent, independence, and philanthropy, and an estimated net worth of $6 million. Charles Maxwell as radio announcer, voice. Next is Charles Maxwell, who played the unseen radio announcer, the voice delivering news, warnings, and updates to the stranded castaways. He was 50 years old when he gave life to this invisible presence, guiding the castaways through the chaos of the island without ever appearing on screen. Audiences heard his voice but never saw his face, making him the mysterious link between the outside world and the islanders' adventures. Charles Maxwell passed away at the age of 79 on August 7, 1993, in Los Angeles, California. His death went largely unnoticed by the general public, reflecting a career spent mostly in supporting roles and as an uncredited voice actor. Despite his anonymity, Maxwell's contributions left an indelible mark on Gilligan's Island, shaping the show's narrative tension and comedic timing through a medium that few could see or recognize. Beyond the island, Maxwell's career spanned numerous guest roles in westerns and television dramas, including Bonanza, Gunsmoke, The Texan, Lawman, and Combat, as well as science fiction appearances in Star Trek and My Favorite Martian. He played characters ranging from crooked hotel owners to military officers, demonstrating versatility even when his face was seldom remembered. Despite this, he remained a dedicated professional, continually working in television through the 1960s and 1970s, often without credit or recognition. Maxwell's legacy is that of a quiet architect behind the screen. He lent his voice to countless episodes of Gilligan's Island, ensuring the audience felt the presence of an unseen world beyond the island, yet he never gained the fame of the visible cast. His story highlights the often unseen contributions of character actors in Hollywood, whose work shapes iconic moments while remaining anonymous. At the time of his death, his estimated net worth was $500,000, a modest reflection of a life spent giving voice to characters the world adored but never truly saw. Janos Prohaska as Gorilla. Coming to Janos Prohaska, who played the gorilla, the costumed animal performer interacting with the castaways in their zany adventures. He was 45 years old when he took on this physical role, bringing humor and life to the island's unusual animal encounters. The gorilla became a comic element in scenes that relied on Prohaska's skill and timing, adding a playful and chaotic touch to the episodes. Janos Prohaska tragically passed away at 55 on March 13, 1974, in a plane crash in California while traveling to film the series Primal Man. The accident claimed 36 lives, including his son Robert, and his remains were cremated and interred at Woodlawn Memorial Cemetery in Santa Monica, ending a life full of creativity and daring performance. Beyond Gilligan's Island, Prohaska specialized in performing animals and creatures, appearing in Star Trek, Lost in Space, Land of the Giants, and I Dream of Jeannie. He designed and built his own creature suits, setting a standard for physical performers, and appeared in films like It's a Mad, 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 Mad World as a stunt performer and costume actor, blending artistry and stunt work in innovative ways. Prohaska's influence endured among stunt performers and creature actors. His work on TV and film showcased his dedication to realism and craft, and even after his death, his designs and performances continued to inspire. The tragic end to his life underscored the risks behind the scenes, and his career, though short-lived, remains a testament to creativity, courage, and sacrifice, with an estimated net worth of $500,000. Vito Scotti as Dr. Boris Balankoff. We come to Vito Scotti, who played Dr. Boris Balankoff, the eccentric, often hilariously mad scientist in the island. He was 46 years old when he inhabited this role, blending comedy and bizarre invention to create one of the show's most memorable guest appearances. Audiences quickly recognized his talent for versatility, making every scene with Dr. Balankoff both unpredictable and entertaining. Vito Scotti passed away at the age of 78 on June 5, 1996, from lung cancer at the Motion Picture and Television Hospital in Woodland Hills, California. He was laid to rest at Hollywood Forever Cemetery alongside his first wife, Irene, leaving behind a career that spanned 5 decades and over 200 screen appearances. Despite his passing, Scotti's unique gift for embodying characters of many nationalities and his flair for comedy ensured he remained a beloved figure in Hollywood history. Life Beyond Gilligan's Island showcased Scotti's remarkable range. He appeared in films such as The Godfather, 1972, and How Sweet It Is, 1968, voiced the Italian cat in Disney's The Aristocats, 1970, and worked extensively in television guest roles on The Twilight Zone, Bonanza, Batman, The Bionic Woman, and The Golden Girls. He also performed in Italian cinema and on Broadway, building a reputation as a thousand-faced character actor capable of seamless comedic and dramatic transformations. Off-screen, Scotti's passions extended to culinary arts and philanthropy. A skilled cook influenced by family recipes, he often entertained with his Italian culinary talents. He married twice and had 2 children with his first wife, supporting their education and medical needs through the Carmen Fund, dedicated to students with special requirements. Scotti's estimated net worth at the time of his death was $1 million, a modest reflection of a life dedicated not only to performing, but also to family, artistry, and generosity. Eddie Little Sky as Native Warrior. We have Eddie Little Sky, who played the native warrior, the proud protector of his people among the castaways. He was 38 years old when he embodied this courageous tribal leader, a warrior whose actions reflected honor, skill, and heritage. His role brought a sense of real indigenous identity to the island, grounding the comedy in authenticity. Eddie Little Sky passed away at the age of 71 on September 5, 1997, in Pennington County, South Dakota, due to lung cancer. He was interred at the Little's Flat Family Cemetery in Oglala, South Dakota, leaving behind a legacy largely unknown to the wider public. Though only briefly seen on Gilligan's Island, his presence carried weight, and his work in Hollywood and television introduced audiences to Native American roles portrayed by actual Native actors, challenging decades of misrepresentation. Beyond the island, Eddie's life was a mix of triumph and unexpected tragedy. He appeared in over 60 television shows and 36 films, including A Man Called Horse, Paint Your Wagon, and Breakheart Pass, often playing Native American warriors or leaders. He became a technical advisor on Soldier Blue, pushing for authenticity in Hollywood productions at a time when most studios cast non-native actors. His career was groundbreaking, but came with sacrifices, including frequent typecasting and limited recognition despite decades of skill and dedication. Eddie's personal life mirrored his resilience and responsibility. He married Dawn Gates, professionally known as Dawn Little Sky, and together they had 8 children, though only 3 survived both parents. After retiring from Hollywood in the late 1970s, Eddie became director of the Oglala Lakota Tribal Parks and Recreation Authority, protecting his culture and community. His story balances pioneering achievement with personal loss, leaving a legacy of courage, innovation, and dedication, with a net worth estimated at $1 million. Zsa Zsa Gabor as Erica Tiffany Smith. Then there is Zsa Zsa Gabor, who played Erica Tiffany Smith, the glamorous socialite who brought sophistication and European flair to the island. She was 47 years old when she embodied this wealthy, witty, and extravagant woman, dazzling both castaways and viewers alike. Even in brief appearances, Erica's charm and wit made her impossible to ignore, leaving a lasting impression amid the island's chaos. Zsa Zsa Gabor passed away at the remarkable age of 99 on December 18, 2016, in Los Angeles, California, after a prolonged period on life support. Her funeral was held on December 30th in a Catholic ceremony at the Church of the Good Shepherd in Beverly Hills, and her ashes were interred at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery before being reinterred in Budapest in 2021, fulfilling her wish to return to her homeland. Life off-screen was as dramatic as any of her performances. Gabor was married 9 times, including to Conrad Hilton and George Sanders, and endured a personal tragedy when her only child, Francesca Hilton, died in 2015. She survived multiple strokes, hip fractures, partial paralysis, and an above-knee amputation in her later years, yet continued to captivate media and fans with her indomitable personality. Her appearances on Moulin Rouge, Lovely to Look At, Queen of Outer Space, and cameos in shows like A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors highlighted her versatility and boldness. Gabor's life was a tapestry of opulence, scandal, and resilience. She survived legal battles, public feuds including a multi-million-dollar lawsuit with Elke Sommer, and a series of dramatic car accidents. She remained fiercely independent, advocating for her own choices in love, career, and social life, all while maintaining a presence in Hollywood across decades. By the end of her life, she had cemented a legacy of unmatched glamour and audacious living, with an estimated net worth reflecting both her talent and her shrewd navigation of fame. Hans Conried as Wrongway Feldman. We come to Hans Conried, who played Wrongway Feldman, the befuddled pilot whose misadventures often triggered chaos among the castaways. He was 47 years old when he brought this hilariously confused aviator to life, blending comic timing with the absurdity of the island's stranded scenarios. Though appearing in only a few episodes, Wrongway Feldman's presence left a lasting impression of chaos and charm. Hans Conried passed away at the age of 64 on January 5, 1982, after suffering a major heart attack. His body was donated to medical science, leaving little public ceremony behind for one of Hollywood's most versatile voices. Despite his brief appearances on Gilligan's Island, his contribution to the series and his other works made him a household name in animation and live-action comedy. You know, Conried's career was a whirlwind of versatility and eccentricity. He was the voice of countless animated villains and narrators, including Captain Hook, Mr. Darling, and the Grinch, while simultaneously appearing on stage, radio, and television. His work in Peter Pan, The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and J. Ward cartoons cemented his reputation for playing exaggerated, almost operatic personalities. The gap between his flamboyant on-screen life and his personal struggles with heart problems added a layer of pathos to his legendary comic persona. Beyond the screen, Conried's personal life blended family, drama, and a relentless dedication to craft. Married to Margaret Grant with 4 children, he balanced a bustling career with domestic responsibilities while enduring heart issues that plagued him from the mid-1970s. His final years included strokes and a mild heart attack, yet he continued performing whenever possible, leaving behind a legacy of unmatched vocal talent and stage charisma. Even as the confused Wrongway Feldman, Hans Conried showed the world that brilliance could come wrapped in chaos, leaving fans both laughing and remembering the man behind the voice. So after 62 years, the tales of the Gilligan's Island cast come full circle. Each actor brought life, humor, and heart to the stranded castaways, yet off-screen, their lives were filled with struggle, scandal, and tragedy. Which story moved you the most? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe to uncover more hidden truths from television history.